Hi everyone, this is Cindy. I'm in my Dare to Be Artsy studio, and today I'm going to show you a fun way to make a little pop-up card. Very easy technique, and we're using our All the Buzz collection. So let's get started. You're going to love how these papers go together. Our All the Buzz collection has 3 stamp sets, 3 die sets, and 6 different papers, and our papers are double-sided. We have the Buzzy Bees, Spring is Blooming, and Honey Bears. What's really unique is that our dies that match our stamps also coordinate with our paper. So this die is going to also cut the bees right out of the bee paper. Our papers are 12 by 12, they're double-sided, and they have large and small prints, so it's great for every one of your craft projects. So now I want to show you exactly how these dies work with our paper. So first we're going to go ahead and take the bee paper. I just cut a little part out of the paper, and we're going to cut this bee out. We're going to take the die, and I'm just going to use some tape to position it on the paper, and just line it up, tape it down. Now I'm going to cut some other images out at the same time, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just trim this down a little bit more so I can cut more images out at the same time. So we're going to take our die cut machine, and I've already positioned a little bear from our honey bears and a couple of flowers and leaves. So I'm just taping them all down, line them up, and we're just going to position these so we can just cut a bunch of things at the same time and just run it through your machine. Now all of our papers are part of collections. These are always, there's always stamps and dies in each collection, but the dies are made first to match the stamp sets. So we always recommend that when you buy your dies, you don't just buy the paper, because eventually you'll run out of paper, and you'll also miss out on all the fun sentiments and stuff that go with the stamp sets. But this is a really great way to do a scrapbook layout or a card really fast. Sometimes you just don't feel like coloring in. So I get it. You're just going to love the fact that this all works together. And so again, what I've done here, I've started cutting some different little pieces apart. So here you see the 2 bears from the honey bears. There's different flowers. There's the honey pots. So all of these are part of the same collection. The ones on the right, I had stamped and colored in. I'm just going to put this blue piece of paper down to show you how to fold the back part of our card. So you take a standard A2 size card, cut a blue strip, and cut it exactly the same width. It's just 8.5 inches wide. The strip itself can really be any depth. I'm just going to score this. I'm going to take the cover, and I'm going to fold the cover back on itself. And I'm just using the bone folder to make a nice crease. Very simple fold. Then I'm going to take the blue piece and I'm going to fold it exactly the same way. Fold it in half. You don't even need to measure. Use your bone folder and then take one side and fold it back on itself, just like we did with the white piece of paper. Again, this can be any depth. The key is that it's the same width, the 8.5 inches wide. So now you're going to take, when you actually assemble this, the blue piece of paper will flip over and then rotate. Because your end product, that band has to be opposite. So see, when it opens up, that's kind of the magic of this fun fold. So now we're going to just decorate the pieces up. You're going to take this white piece, and I've kind of done it already. I have put my fun papers on the different panels, all from the All the Buzz collection. You're going to take your blue piece, and I went ahead and put some papers on that. The little white panel I stamped with Sweeter Than Honey from one of the stamp sets. And you'll notice again, it's backwards. The fold is opposite the base card. That's the important part. Then if you take your band and you fold it down, you're going to put adhesive on just the outside squares. I just use score tape. You can use any adhesive you want. I thought it was just easier to show you. So no adhesive in the center. It's only on those outside squares. So I'm just going to peel up the tape here. anytime I do a card that's going to open and close a lot and stuff, I like score tape because I just think it's a stronger hold. That's why I use that here. But again, any of your favorite adhesive is fine. You're going to flip it over, and I fold the pieces down. So I'm going to fold my blue piece back together and fold the base together. Now this band, you really can go down low, you can move it up high, you can make it thinner. So again, it really depends on your design. So I'm just going to lay it down and then press down to get the adhesive stuck, and you can see how it fits perfectly. You can open and close it, and that's as easy as this gets. So now let's decorate this card up. We took our little bee. Now you can attach this in a couple ways. You can take just a scrap piece of paper and attach the bee at the top. What I did was take a piece of acetate. I literally just cut it out of scrap packaging. I put adhesive at the top and the bottom. I left a little bit of the part in the middle without any adhesive. So this way, it's going to attach to that front band, and he's going to look like he's floating. Again, if you don't have acetate, you can just have him sitting down on the edge with that little just scrap paper. But with the acetate, you can have him floating a little bit, and I think it just makes it a little extra fun. And then we're going to take all of our other little pieces that we already cut out, and you can just have fun with this, add anything you want to it. We're going to use the flowers, and I like to pop a lot of stuff. So you're going to see that I've already attached some foam tape to the back. And when you're attaching the flowers in the back, it's kind of nice to keep the card folded, so then you can really position where you want that flower and how it relates to the bee. And here's another one. We're going to go ahead and attach that one. So this is the one we cut out. So I'm going to put my foam tape on. This foam tape is kind of thin, so if you want, go ahead and just add an extra piece to it. So I just put the one tape or foam tape right on top of the other one just to make that one even more thick. Again, I really like dimensions, so I do that kind of stuff a lot. I'm going to put that right on the front. And then when you open this card up, I just thought it needed a little bit of a surprise on the inside. So I put one flower on the inside that you don't see until you open up the card. Again, I still put foam tape on it. And then this little bee, I actually stamped and colored him in just to show you how the stamps and papers work great together. You don't have to do all stamped images or all paper images. They work well together too. So we put the little bee on the inside, and we're going to just start adding some more pieces. Here's some of the leaves. And the leaves have dies as well, but they're also pretty simple. You can fussy cut those if you want to. And there's two different shaped leaves. So there's actually two dies that will cut the longer ones and the shorter ones. The collection also has a bee that's even smaller than that little one. So there's actually 3 sizes of bees. And again, just have fun with it. Mix and match your colors. There's lots of different colors on the paper. So there's the kind of the peachy colored leaves and the green leaves. So I think the colors just turned out great in this stamp set or in this paper line. And then this little beehive is also a stamped image that I colored in. But there is on one of the papers, there is a beehive that die will cut the beehive right out of the paper as well. And I just think that made for just a fun card. Then there's the honey pots. Again, you can just really have fun because there's so many different pieces to the collection. There's a little teeny die. That's the honeycomb die. So we're going to go ahead and add that. It's in the Buzzy Bees die set. And it's really delicate. I really like it. So I'm just going to put some clear adhesive on the back of this. And then I am going to position this right below the sentiment. And I'm going to position it so it hangs off a little bit. So I just think it's kind of fun to, when you close it up, you're going to see just a little bit of that from behind. Isn't that cute? So this is our card. I hope you really enjoyed it. And again, it's so simple. I think you'll really have fun with all of our papers, making this simple layout. This is our Spring is Blooming stamp set, and I just wanted to share this card with you. This is by our friend Melody. She's on our design team and does some wonderful cards for us. So thanks for sending me the card, Melody. And it's just going to show you that the stamp set has a solid piece, so you can stamp the color of the flower behind. Here's another one that she did for us that I just think turned out really great. I love the two bears together. Those are stamped colored in. Here are a few more samples I think you'll enjoy. I hope you'll leave us a comment below. We're also going to put the links to all of the stamps, dies, and papers below. You can buy these individually or as a collection. Just go visit our website at www.daretobeartsy.com. We hope you have a great week, and I dare you to be artsy. See you later.